Welcome to the 2017 State of the City Luncheon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I go into my annual address, I want to take a moment for a special presentation. In the 1880s, Loring Chase and Oliver Chapman came to Central Florida to create a winter park for Northerners looking to escape the cold weather. Starting with just 600 acres, they purchased for $13,000. The partners planned and developed the blueprint for the city of Winter Park. Over the years, Winter Park has grown and developed both organically and through careful consideration and planning. Individuals, families, and organizations have helped build upon the founders' original vision to create the vibrant city that we enjoy today. With that in mind, I'm announcing a new award to be given annually. The Mayor's Founders Award honors those through whose commitment, dedication, and actions have built upon Chase and Chapman's vision to develop the city of Winter Park into the best place to live, work, and play. Hopefully I won't break this thing. The award itself is intentionally not your usual glass, metal, shiny, polished award. Instead, it's a combination of materials that were actual pieces of our infrastructure. The railroad spikes that are on here were taken from the tracks nearby. They weren't pulled out of the tracks. They were laying alongside the tracks. The brick was actually a brick that came out of a roadway in Winter Park. Getting projects and just about anything through a governmental process is not easy. You end up with scars, a bit roughed up from the process. But as I say, scars are sexy. They show experience, effort, and tenacity. So let me tell you about our inaugural honoree, because he represents all of those things. Except maybe the sexy thing, but you guys decide on that. Congressman John Mica, born in Binghamton, New York, moved to Florida, educated at Miami Edison High School, Miami-Dade Community College, and the University of Florida. He had a business career in real estate, telecommunications, government affairs, and consulting. Congressman Mica served in the Florida House of Representatives from 1976 to 1980, was a staff member for Winter Park's very own U.S. Senator Paula Hawkins from 1981 to 1985, where he also served as her chief of staff. Congressman Mica then served in the U.S. House of Representatives from 1992 to 2017, where he served with distinction on many governments and many committees, including the Government on Oversight and Government Reform and the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, where he also served as chairman. His fingerprints can be lifted on most major projects that have helped build not just our region, but the entire state. Congressman Mica's leadership brought us the forward-thinking SunRail commuter rail project, the I-4 Ultimate, and the $1.1 billion Orlando International expansion. And very close to home, just a few blocks away, the beautiful new Amtrak station. Thank you, Congressman. The list of accomplishments of Congressman John Mica are far too lengthy to recite. However, his work on behalf of veterans especially are memorable and noteworthy. His efforts led to the Orange City VA, keeping open the Baldwin Park VA, and most recently the transfer of that facility from the federal government to the state of Florida. He accomplished this approval in a mind-blowing 30-day period, getting it through both chambers and the executive office and the state of Florida. That doesn't happen. It's not an understatement to say that while in Washington, D.C., Congressman Mica was the single best representative for our entire state. Even with the major projects and work he undertook in Washington, Congressman Mica was incredibly visible in his home district. You can find him at Panera, hanging out, having a cup of coffee. His presence was unparalleled. While we will certainly miss your representation of our region in D.C., we're thrilled to have you back home full-time. A special thank you to his partner, Ms. Pat Mica. She is here with us today, as always, by his side. Thank you, Pat. The award reads, 2017 Mayor's Founders Award, Congressman John Mica, with sincere appreciation for your lifetime building upon our founders' vision. Friends, it's my pleasure to present the inaugural Mayor's Founders Award to our representative, our friend, and our neighbor, John Mica. Can we get this?
Well, thank you so much, Steve, and First, working with Steve, I see Ken, I see Joe, some of the former mayors, our vice mayor, all the city council members. You can't do anything unless you have great people to work with. And then I have to give credit being in Winter Park to my wife, Pat. I was chosen by two of our late leaders from the community, Victor Woodman, Woody Woodman, and also Russell Troutman, chairman and vice chair of the Charter Study Commission to reorganize county government. That's what brought me here just a day or two after our honeymoon in 1972. My office was in the courthouse downtown, and I thought, well, I want to live downtown in Orlando. And my wife said, we are living in Winter Park. So everything we had in a little U-Haul, we brought and had a one-bedroom apartment in Mead Gardens where we started. It's kind of funny, I was working the last couple of years when the district included all of Winter Park to help Mead Gardens, a great natural asset. But we've been so blessed. You're looking at a guy and a gal who been so fortunate. You talked about Winter Park Hospital. Our daughter, who's here, Deanne, she was born there. Our son was born there. The oldest, Micah, passed away there. My Aunt Julia, my mother, sold her house to Winter Park Hospital when she retired and left, which was their personnel office, and, for a number of years. So we're so much a part of the community. We are all blessed to be here. We're blessed, too, to have these local government officials. And you honor today, and I came to honor, too, as I've done in the past, our first responders who do a great job keeping us safe, and then some of the others that keep the beauty of Winter Park and the enhancements of the parks and all the things that we enjoy so wonderful. And that's what Winter Park is all about. So I accept this on behalf of my long-suffering wife. We will be very much part of this community, I can assure you, and do all we can, along with you, and each of us can contribute to make it an even better place to live, work, raise our children, retire, and have a great experience in a great community and a great country. Thank you for honoring me, and thank you for honoring those public servants here today that have made our life and our community so much better. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Pat. Thank you all, and a special thank you to the Chamber today. Also, to my fellow commission members, thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we've gotten a lot of things done. Past Mayor Bradley, a lot of the accomplishments that I will speak about began under your mayorship. So thank you, sir, for getting that done. We had much to celebrate this past year, but we also had a major loss, and recapping Winter Park's 2016 begins with Roger Trindade. The loss of Roger the weekend of October 15th was horribly tragic. The Winter Park Police Department launched a thorough investigation into the incident, and through their work, the state's attorney's office filed charges against the accused participants. Our community came together, and we rallied behind the Trindade family and law enforcement. While it's impossible for us to comprehend the depths of despair that this family must have experienced, we must have faith in the legal process. Please keep the Trindade family in your thoughts and prayers. Now the numbers. For the 9th straight year, we have held the line on our millage rate. We enjoy the 3rd lowest millage rate in all of Orange County. And we also maintain a healthy general fund reserve to protect us during emergency situations and take advantage of sensible opportunities. Our region is growing. After an exceptionally challenging downturn, we're on a healthy, balanced upswing. Housing starts are trending upward. Our state population continues to outpace all but 3 other states. Forecasts have our state population growing at an annual rate over the next 4 years of 1.7%, with the Orlando region outpacing that at a 2.2% growth rate. They are coming. They are coming. So how do we assure, and they always have been, by the way. So how do we assure our future relevance in this hyper-evolving market? We do so by remembering the actions of our predecessors, by leveraging partnerships, inclusion, and people. I believe in what I've labeled generational customization, maintaining our uniqueness but allowing enough flexibility so that those that come after us can continue to build upon and shape our history to meet new needs and tastes. We should not restrict the possibilities of tomorrow by hiding in the memories of yesterday. I reference partnerships often. Winter Park was built by individuals and organizations working together for our community. I speak to a room full of individuals and organizations that must work together to be successful. This is rarely the case in government. However, in 2016, we partnered with Orange County Public Schools, Rollins College, and the Winter Park High School Foundation to rebuild Showalter Field. 4 partners, 1 goal. This facility features a new multi-sport artificial turf field, new collegiate-style rubberized running track, and a new multimedia scoreboard. We worked with the Florida Department of Transportation on many projects. With the FDOT and the developer of the Whole Foods Center, we opened the Lee Road extension. 3 partners, 1 goal. We acquired the Fairbanks bowling property from Rollins College to create a more fluid intersection at 1792 and Fairbanks. 3 partners, 1 goal. You get the point. We've worked with the FDOT to replace our major railroad crossings and plan to smooth and repair the remaining crossings this year. As well, we believe the work on quiet zones will begin this year, which will lessen the blaring horns as trains traverse through Winter Park. And we worked with our regional and national partners to be included in an intelligent traffic signalization pilot program along 1792 to smooth traffic flow along this busy multi-jurisdictional thoroughfare. 1792 is responsible for much of the congestion that we see on our local streets. The work done, underway, and under consideration is significant and that cannot be overstated. Partnerships will once again deliver to Winter Park. I want to thank Congressman Micah especially for your leadership with the ITS program, and I want to thank the FDOT for their continued partnership on so many programs that are going to help us manage this growth. Another project leverages our continued partnership with the Winter Park Health Foundation. Project Wellness, a state-of-the-art, unique, healthy living center, built upon the site of the old Crosby YMCA. This will focus on improving the quality of life for Winter Park residents. These projects stand alongside some more seemingly pedestrian but critical city-led initiatives. Last year, our electric utility underground 6 miles of distribution lines, beating our goal by a mile. This work led to minimal outages during October's Hurricane Matthew. We're the first municipality in the region to have 100% of our service restored. And these areas most responsible for the majority of our outages in the past have already been placed underground. We're in great shape with our electric utility. Our first ever urban forestry management plan has been implemented and will help us strategically guide this investment for future generations. In 2016, we approved new incentives for anyone considering adding their property to the city's historic register. Rather than forcing restrictions on unwilling or unknowing property owners, these incentives encourage individuals to maintain their structures for future generations. And while these last 3 projects were undertaken by the city, we not only relied upon relationships, they were undertaken through inclusive processes, which too is critical to our success. The newly renovated Winter Park Golf Course, or the Winter Park 9 as it has been tagged. This project was led by an appointed task force which held many public meetings to discuss the opportunity. Our new pro shop manager, Greg Pascal, and his team managed this course that has been featured on the Golf Channel, other media outlets, and is being appreciated by not just golfers, but motorists and pedestrians that walk by it daily. As well, after more than a year of public meetings, community input, a referendum, court proceedings, and finally a judge's validation, we will begin work this year on our new library event center in MLK Park. Recently knighted British architect David Ajahe will lead the project, and there will be ample opportunity for the community to further weigh in as the schedule becomes available. These facilities have been and will be built to the standards that we should all expect from Winter Park. They sit and fit alongside the Alfond Inn, this beautiful structure, Park Avenue, and Hannibal Square, and all the other amenities that make Winter Park so special. Vision Winter Park was a community-wide, consultant-led process to secure feedback from residents, businesses, and stakeholders. The resulting document was a starting point for our state-required update to our comprehensive plan. The comp plan was recently transmitted to the state for preliminary approval after another thorough community-wide multi-advisory board process. A thank you to all of these boards that participated and invested so much time in this process, and especially our comp plan task force of Laura Turner, Mark Reicher, and Nancy Miles. They did a fantastic job. The success of these projects will in large part be due to the community inclusiveness of each. Crime has been a topic of much community discussion this year. And while trends indicate that we are relatively flat when it comes to crime in Winter Park, stats don't mean a thing if your home has been burglarized or you feel unsafe in any way. While it's easy to throw money and people at the issue, hiring an additional officer or two has a marginal substantive effect on crime. Instead, we are working with our new police chief to develop new programs and efforts to combat crime. From different community policing strategies to utilization of newer technologies, we look forward to Chief Deal's ideas and methods. In addition to partnerships and inclusions, we are fortunate to have a community filled with individuals who invest in our quality of life. In addition to Congressman and Mrs. Micah, I have at my table Vincent and Terry Gagliano, who are living the American dream. I love talking about you guys. Vincent moved to Winter Park from France, speaking little English. Vincent and his family own Chez Vincent and Hannibal's restaurants. They were the first to place a flag in Hannibal Square when most wouldn't walk through there. Not only that, they own the properties themselves and others in Winter Park. Thank you, Vincent and Terry, for continuing to invest your lives in our community. I also have Chris and Michelle Gardner at my table. Chris was raised in Winter Park. He helped build Kuykendall Gardner Insurance to great success and now serves as the CEO of Hub International, Florida. Chris oversees 260 professionals statewide and 70 locally who help families, individuals, and businesses with a full complement of insurance solutions. Chris is also a former chair of the Winter Park Chamber and is the current chair of our board's insurance entity, Citizens Insurance. Chris inherited a potential assessment liability of over $12 billion with a B dollars. This is your potential liability as a citizen of this state. In just 4 years as chair, Chris has eliminated this potential liability completely. $12 billion gone. Thank you, Chris, for your lifelong commitment to our community and our state. Congressman and long-term resident, a CEO and lifetime resident, a restaurateur and relatively new restaurant. These neighbors and others like them help define our community and our character. As we look to the future, there are obstacles. Similarly situated communities, not just nearby, but across the country and beyond. How and where businesses operate provide more flexibility to workers than ever before. Many professionals can choose to work from where they choose to live. This is the inverse of the more traditional model of living near where you work. And fringe groups who enjoy yelling fire, but have no plausible alternative to that which they oppose. Just saying no is not a long-term sustainable strategy. Fringe groups have always existed. This fringe element actually helps define the middle. Indeed, the middle cannot exist without the fringe. We also live in a time of incredibly short attention spans. We have become a soundbite society. The ability to use technology to foment discord is now more readily available than ever before. Facebook, Twitter, and even our more established media, whose currency used to be accuracy, has instead opted for expediency to meet the seemingly insatiable demand for controversy. Sadly, we seem to require tumultuous times and events to publicly demonstrate our quiet unity. This cacophony, this noise, requires that we act differently and that we work differently. We must continue to develop our relationships with one another. How we treat one another is incredibly important to the future success of our community. Our democracy is a wonderful thing, but what it more regularly devolves to is not. We can choose a different path, a welcoming environment, hold the door, allow people to walk across the crosswalk, tolerate ideas and concepts that may be different than yours but add to a greater whole. I often say that I wake to the future every day, to my 11-year-old triplets who look upon the day every morning with wonder. Let us look upon tomorrow with opportunistic eyes. Let us decide how we will conduct ourselves. Let us make that conscious choice until it becomes an unconscious one. We must also operate in a different way. In 1997's New Realities for the New Economy, author Kevin Cowley challenges businesses to reimagine their path forward and encourages them to operate in flux. This strategy is just as relevant to businesses and governments today as it was in 1997. While slight ongoing adjustments or evolution may be a bit unsettling, the path is nowhere near as tumultuous as major adjustments or revolution necessitated by continual non-action. We must operate in flux, seeking new methods and opportunities with a goal of managing this community canvas that we have been blessed to inherit. So that as times and tastes change, we ensure that without sacrificing what has made us special, we improve our offering. The list of accomplishments that I've just read off is fairly staggering, especially for a community of our size. A new library and events center, Project Wellness, Showalter Field, a new golf course, aggressive electric undergrounding plan, better traffic and transportation solutions, Vision Winter Park, renewed comprehensive plan, urban forestry management plan, historic preservation incentives, new policing methods, and there's others. In 2017, we need to look for new ideas, and we will. New and improved recreational and learning facilities, like enhanced and expanded playing fields and green space. Technology advancements, like a fiber optic backbone to meet the growing needs of businesses and residents. Transportation and traffic solutions, driverless vehicles to tie the core tightly together. The use of technology to smooth traffic, and opportunities such as an underground parking structure to ease congestion around our core. Folks, our only limitations are our imagination and our perseverance. Future generations unknowingly count on our tenacity in demanding a more complete future. In addition to all the physical amenities that we can offer, we must create a welcome, warm, and participatory community to be all that Chase and Chapman imagined. I want to thank you all for your continued support and encouragement as we build upon and within our founder's vision of making Winter Park this special place. Thank you all.